First National Bank of Lake Jackson presents Bank on It with your host, Dave Mayberry.
Welcome all, both here in the studios and those streaming online. We are proud, and I am very excited to have as our guest today, Christy Frey, Executive Director of Brazosport Cares. Welcome, and thanks for joining us, Christy.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited. I'm a podcast junkie.
Really?
I love podcasts.
Well, I hope this is your
This
latest.
is my new favorite. Yes, for sure. I have so many that I subscribe to. I can't even get them listened to in the week anymore. I've got to start kind of clearing those out.
I've got to get into that some.
Mm.
First of all, congratulations on nearly 40 years of Brazosport Cares helping others.
That's crazy.
I know you'll be celebrating soon, but this will be out and probably after that, but we're all excited to be there and join you for that.
Yeah, thank you. It's been just been a crazy 40 years. I've been there about 13, which that I don't know how that happened. I feel like I've been there a year, but just the community for 40 years has really made such a difference for us. And we're excited to kind of look forward to the next 40 years and what the future holds.
It's a special place down here, isn't it?
It is, very much so.
What's the story behind you joining Brazosport Cares?
Well, my family had moved down here. We moved in 2010. My husband's from here, and we were looking to kind of move to a smaller town. Like I said, we lived in Dallas, and just fast pace. And I grew up in a small town. We both just kind of wanted to slow down a little bit, have some a community with a lot of family values. So we were here a few years, and I took several years off with my kids not working. So I was kind of looking to get back to work some way or another, whether it was maybe volunteering or doing something like that. And I had joined Junior Service League down here to try to meet some people and get involved in the community.
And they're an active group.
They are very active.
Yep.
I'm so proud of the ladies that are in there right now.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm. They just do so much to help our community. But the former executive director before me was JSL, and she was retiring, and so she happened to send in an email, "Hey, I'm retiring. Anybody interested?" And I thought, I can do that. So I'd volunteered a lot in the community up in Dallas and at my kids' schools and stuff. So I've always had a heart for community and service. And so it was just, it was just meant to be. That's kind of how I got there.
Was it a specific time? Was it that what you're talking about, or a certain person that kind of encouraged you to take that leap?
I think it was more time. My kids were a little bit older. I didn't have a lot to do during the day. So I was definitely looking for a way to plug into the community. And I know joining Junior Service League, I think my eyes were kind of open. And I know when I talk to a lot of people in the community, they say, "Oh, nobody's down here is hungry." And I just don't think they have visibility to it. And I didn't, even after doing a lot of volunteer work previously.
Isn't that amazing, though, that right underneath us, we don't know the needs in our own county?
We don't.
It's so surprising.
And I understand it, though, in some ways that you don't see it, especially hunger is very silent and people hide it. I think there's a lot of shame that people feel not being able to feed their family. And so I always just try to tell people, just here are the kind of some of the signs. And when you start looking for it, and that's what happened to me. I had joined Junior Service League, and our first project was to do food drives for a backpack program. And I'm like, what's a backpack program? I had no idea. And they were explaining these are kids that are going home on the weekends with no food. And I'm like, wait, there's kids that don't have food on the weekends? It just didn't occur to me. Because I've never seen that before. And so that just kind of touched my heart. And then as my kids got older, just being more in the schools and working with JSL, I think my eyes were open because I was looking for it at that point because I was so surprised. And that's, I think, just kind of kept going. And then when this came open, I'm like, okay, I get it. That's where I'm supposed to be. So
You mentioned the backpack program, and I'm putting all these things together when I'm researching and kind of reading about you and stuff like that. I know that, and it's probably one of my questions for later on, but I want to get into it since you just mentioned it. But how cool is having a store inside the schools, and they have a backpack to put it in so they're not ridiculed or made fun of or anything like that when they go home? That just about made me start crying. I'm not kidding.
It is. That's one of our newest programs that we do. The Houston Food Bank started them several years ago, and we use that as a model to start ours. But they're actually kind of like a school food pantry on campus. We have one at Clute Intermediate, one at Brazos Success Academy, and we help the Ascend program, which is for I think the way they describe it is more, it's like our students who are unhoused to help their families. And then we just opened a new one at Sweeney High School back in the fall, and that one's just growing exponentially. But it just really does take a lot of the embarrassment, especially for the older kids. The younger kids don't mind the taking a backpack home, and they're kind of like, oh, look what I got.
It's cool.
It's as kids get about fifth, sixth grade, there's definitely those are hard. Those are hard years anyway to in school and in high school, and so the kids are more reluctant to go and pick a backpack up out of the office and carry it, even if it is in a black unmarked backpack. People, the kids know, and so we can't really help them if they're not going to take it.
Right.
So these have been phenomenal alternatives for students to be able to get food for themselves, for their families, whether it's during the week or the weekend. And the great thing about them, they're open to all the students in the school. And so there's really no, kind of like, oh, you're getting it, you're not. And so that makes a big difference. And we're really reaching a lot of students. And I think it's making a huge impact. So we're excited to keep growing that program as we move forward.
That's one of the many, and we'll talk about some later on. But how has the local community influenced your early days? Take yourself back 13 years and go, the local community helped me in this way or influenced me, let's say this way or not.
Yeah. I think when I first got here, like I said, I joined an organization, and then I just started kind of watching people in our community, and I was just amazed how many people step up to help when the need is. I know when I started at Brazosport Cares, we had a lot of churches that supported us and a lot of businesses, both big and small, providing not only funding, but volunteers. And the volunteers, I always call them unpaid staff. They were there, I thought, oh, they'll come today. They may not come for a few weeks, and I'll need to try to figure that out. They came every week, same, almost same shift, did the same thing, and just really could rely on them. And I've just seen that through so many different things that have happened, and just not just Brazosport Cares, but within the community, of how people just step up. And I've never really seen anything like that before.
I was going to ask you that question. I was going to say, what makes what you do here in Brazoria County different from anywhere else? And you've kind of hit on that already.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I definitely, living in a larger city, people help, but it's more like the large businesses come in and do, like a large financial contribution, which thank you.
Yeah,
We need
exactly.
that. We need that for sure. But, when we have a storm or something, I just see people that have lost their own home, and they're helping their neighbors, muck out the mud and things like that. So, there's a lot of food pantries across the U.S., Texas, Southeast Texas. I think just in Brazoria County, the nonprofits here are so lucky that just all these communities have big hearts to help their neighbors. So I think that's very unusual.
Speaking of big hearts, do you ever notice, Christy, that the people that seem to be needing the most, they're also the most giving in one way or another? It may be love, it may be doing something. Do you see that?
I see it every day. We have quite a few volunteers who actually also get services from us, and I don't think we are unusual in that. So, many times they will say, I would love to volunteer. You guys give me so much, and I want to help others. Or even small things. Our food pantries are set up like grocery stores, so our families can walk through and they shop for what they need or what they like or health preferences. And you might say, hey, we've got a lot of rice. Did you want some? And they're like, no, I still have some at home. Please save that for someone else who might need it. So just even those little things that they give back. So,
I love hearing that. Can you take a moment to tell us a little bit about your staff?
Oh, they're superstars. Very lucky. We would not do what we did. So I have a few people. We are very lean and mean. We do a lot with a few people, but I do have a few, like I said, they're superstars. I have Sierra Grable, who runs all of our Freeport kind of operations. So it's the food pantry. We have a senior home delivery program. She kind of oversees the school programs, all of that. She's our newest employee, she hasn't been there quite a year. She came from BISD. So she has a heart for education. And so she just kind of comes at things differently than I do. And I love it because she's always has the kids, especially the older kids. She taught in the high school. She just sees their day to day and what they're up against. And she just has ideas that she brings that I'm like, oh, I never even thought about. That's great. So she has a huge heart. So fun. We love having her. I can't wait to see all that she's going to do in her future with us. We also have Jessica Sanchez, who works part-time for us. She oversees our senior program, the delivery of senior. We do groceries once a month out of Freeport, and then she runs the day-to-day of all the kids' programs, so the backpacks, the school food pantries and stuff. And so she's wonderful, a huge heart. Everyone has a heart. She still has kids in school who are kind of that age, that middle school age, high school. And so I think she just sees a lot as well as far as what the need is and what our kids are going through. And then, of course, I have to brag on Emily Frey. She definitely related. She is
Chip off the block.
Chip off the block. She has a huge heart for service. She came from emergency management, which I thought, well, that's kind of a leap, but not really because it is such a heart of service,
Right.
you know. And she does all of our fundraising, marketing. Thank goodness she understands technology because I would be paying someone a lot of money if she didn't. So we're thrilled. And it's fun to see her every day and kind of see a different side of her, you know, and work. And then Janine Alejandro, she is our finance and admin manager. She was retired, moved down here to be closer to kids and grandkids, and again was kind of looking for a place within the community. She has a corporate background, so she brings just years of leadership ability and just is a huge role model for the staff and me included and our volunteers. So we love having her. And then Sarah Henry is over our Sweeney location. We opened a new food pantry in Sweeney January of 25.
But you said that's getting very popular.
It is very popular. They did about 500,000 meals last year in like 10 or 11 months. So it's grown crazy. And Sarah, that place, it would not be what it is. She is just a connector. She's our cheerleader. She is enthusiastic. Some days I'm like, you're making me tired. Slow down. So she gets so much done. But she has really rallied the volunteers, our neighbors, the community, businesses, the government over there just to come together to make that Sweeney location just hugely successful. And we couldn't have done it without her. So they are all rock stars. And I'm so proud and so honored to have them do this with me every day.
What a well-rounded group.
They are.
Support, and love, and caring. And I'm glad you mentioned education because that's a big part of y'all's program.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just giving things out. You educate them on nutrition and everything else. And I'll get into that a little bit later too, but I'm glad you brought that up because I know that's big in your industry.
It is because, I think we have to approach everything with a holistic view. We can't kind of work in silos, and our vantage point is we kind of say food for today, food for tomorrow, and food for a lifetime. So food for today is just meeting that need that we have, but we're also working for tomorrow and a lifetime to really set people up with skills and knowledge that they can move to self-sufficiency or, we do know there are some of our neighbors that will always depend on us. But if we can help with quality of life, we think that's really important.
Beautiful. You mentioned earlier about volunteers, and we know how important those volunteers are. But can you tell me a little bit about, and spend a moment on the volunteers, the different aspects of what they do, lend their time, of course, and their talent, and how do they help fill the gaps with Brazosport Cares?
Oh, there's lots of gaps.
Yeah.
It's,
well, in any business, but especially yours.
Especially ours, right? Nonprofits are amazing business people. I always remind people nonprofit is a tax status, is not an operating model. We're a business just like First National is or any other business. But we do run lean and mean, and the volunteers do fill those gaps. We actually were just working on some information about volunteers, and we added up. We have over 100 volunteers a month that come in and volunteer, which on an annual basis equates to about another $500,000 that we are not having to spend. And it would be almost 9 additional staff people. So just being able to, our donors' dollars, to spend those on our neighbors, very intently. And not that staff aren't important, they are, but we can use it better, but they come in and they meet the Houston Food Bank trucks, they stock, they clean, they meet our neighbors. When the pantry's open, they pick up deliveries from HEB. They deliver to seniors who are homebound, who really have nobody else. They love, they might do like some nutrition education. We have some people that love that, or come in and do a gardening class. If we have volunteers that like gardening, they're at our school pantries. They're delivering backpacks, packing backpacks, pulling weeds, you name it. And it's people
Invaluable.
invaluable. And then, it's important too to acknowledge our corporate volunteers that we have from small, medium to our large chemical industry that come out and just do amazing things. We would not be able to do that. I would say, like P66 and Chevron were instrumental in helping getting the doors open over in Sweeney. They were painting, fixing air conditioners, and have really stepped up to help. So we need those corporate volunteers as well.
Let's take a moment and hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back with more with Christy after this short commercial break. Brazosport Cares with Executive Director Christy Frey, her staff, and hundreds of volunteers are doing their part to ensure no one should face the day hungry. Together, with your help, we can do just that in Brazoria County by creating access to affordable and nutritious foods. Last year alone, over 1.7 million meals were distributed to communities, and there's even a greater need this year. There's so many ways to get involved and help in this very worthwhile cause, including the Capital Campaign. Want to know more? Go to www.brazosportcares.org. Make a difference and join the fight against hunger at Brazosport Cares. Our podcast today is sponsored by First National Bank of Lake Jackson, featuring financial services with the integrity that you deserve. Let's talk. Call or come by and let's discuss your goals and plans for the future. First National Bank of Lake Jackson, putting you first for over 63 years. Member FDIC. We are back with Christy Frey, Executive Director of Brazosport Cares. Christy, how has the community supported you during the challenging times? And we've been through a few.
We have been through a lot. I was looking, when I was thinking about this, I've been there 13 years. I feel like 10 years have been something. I sometimes just go, okay, can't do one more thing this year, so we just need a break.
A hurricane or COVID or something comes up. It's just crazy.
Or sometimes even things that happen with the Houston Food Bank, because they are a big supplier of food. We're their partner. If they change an operating model, or there was one time their large coolers, a pipe broke and sprayed coolant all over the food. And so we didn't have food for 2 weeks. And that's not something like a storm where everybody knows, but we just kind of put that out there, and people were showing up to volunteer, bringing groceries, giving donations. I just can't say enough about this community that when it's needed, they show up. I think the thing I would like to share with people is it's wonderful when we need things, and it's a crisis, but our neighbors, so many of our neighbors are in crisis every day. And so we need you every day, to support us or to support other nonprofits. I think that's important to know and to remember.
We need to count our blessings and pray for those that need it most.
Correct. Yeah.
Brazosport Cares, they partner with United Way and Feeding America, Houston Food Bank, Feeding Texas, Emergency Food Assistance Program, and others, who are some local businesses, and you've already mentioned a few, that also partner with you.
Well, obviously, First National Bank of Lake Jackson.
We're proud to be.
We're so thrilled to be working with you on our new building. Y'all have provided the construction loan and will help us going forward. That's been just so helpful. I barely passed money in banking in school, so Christy Sellers has been phenomenal in answering my questions and walking me through things and repeating it. So y'all have been a wonderful partner to us.
I appreciate that. Harold and I just decided to drop by the other day, and that building, that we provided, I've never seen it until you showed. And oh my gosh, Christy,
we're excited.
How proud are we and you of something like that?
Yeah.
And I encourage people, I guess they can come by and take a look at it.
Anytime.
It's unbelievable, people. Y'all don't know what's out there. They have it all and it's privately and it's dignified and it's just beautiful. And like you said, it's like going through a grocery store when you get to that portion of the building.
Right.
And that's just a portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're very proud to be partners with you. And you mentioned some others sponsors too.
Yeah. So, there's definitely our churches have always been involved. They actually founded Brazosport Cares. It was a community effort with a lot of churches, and we still rely on them. I'm actually going to make sure I mention everybody here, but definitely our corporate partners like Freeport LNG, Dow Chemical, BASF, Emmy Global, Phillips 66, Chevron, Olin. They really have stepped up, especially with this building, when we've asked them to make significant investments in it and believe in us that we could do it. And not one of them hesitated. I would say most of them, before I could even get through the entire sentence of would you consider making a gift, they would be like, yes, and so just that they would step up and do that is amazing. Then lots of like medium to small businesses as well, who step up and do what they can. But really the biggest supporters that we have are just individuals in our community, just community members that donate monthly, quarterly, write that check when they can. So just lots of people that step up to help us.
And our favorite architect that
Mr. Brent Bowles,
Yep.
yes, and his team. Lord, he has been so patient with me. We started the new building I think it was 2018, 2019, thinking we could just remodel our old building.
Right.
And he kind of started that process, and then the pandemic hit, and we're like, that's not even going to be close.
Mm-mm.
And so he has really helped us kind of take that vision and put it down on paper and make it reality. And then Teal Construction, they did the construction on the building. They have been wonderful to work with. Brent has helped support them, and because he's local and bringing them in, and so they've both made that vision a reality. So we're excited.
Now, the Barbara Walters question.
Oh yeah.
If you could go back to day one, let's just say day one when you started Brazosport Cares,
Mhm.
what advice would you give yourself?
Well, I could probably write a book.
You ought to.
Yeah, I would.
I mean that.
Because my lots goes through my head. I would say just don't sweat the small stuff. Like let the little things go. Let let things just roll off your back. You know where you're going. You know what you want to do. You know what's important, and just stay the course.
Keep your eye on the prize.
Keep your eye on the prize, and just stay focused, because there's a lot of chatter in my own head. There's a lot of chatter around you. And so I think I wish someone had told me, I heard this this recently. They said, what other people think of you is none of your business. And I wish someone had told me that when I was 20. But many times at Brazosport Cares, where we're going, what we're doing, I've had to say, okay, I know this is where we're supposed to be, and I'm just not going to listen to the other voices, whether it's
Negativity.
the negativity or why are you doing that, and just believed in what we've done, and it's here we are, brand new building. So
I've
yeah.
learned that some people just can't be happy,
I've learned that,
and I'm
too.
not responsible for their happiness.
I'm not.
That's the key, right?
And it's not always about me.
No, it's
In
not.
those situations, it's
Oh,
not
no.
about you. It's really about them. And one of my board president told me one time there was kind of some rough stuff going on, and he said, when you're at the top, that's when people come after you. And I'm like, you're right. So
I like to de-escalate
Yeah.
during those times and
Mhm.
tell those people that are on me about something. I go, what's really going on with
Right.
you? Because I know it can't be me.
right, perfect.
Right.
But and truly, most of the time, it isn't about us. It is something else.
You mentioned a lot of different programs that Brazosport Cares. Now, you've mentioned some. Is there some of them that we left out that you might want to mention?
Let's see. We've talked about our food pantries, and that's a
Backpack
Freeport
program and
backpack.
Sweeney and
Mhm. Those-
senior programs.
Yes, we have about 150, 180 homebound seniors that we deliver grocery to once a month, and we have wonderful volunteers that do that. Our school food pantries. We're trying to restart a kind of a summer feeding program, just funding the past couple years and just other priorities. We haven't been able to do that, so we're looking at redoing that. We definitely do education, like nutrition education, whether it's, how to cook something maybe our families aren't familiar with, or
Right.
cook things in a healthier way. Financial literacy, whether it might be we've had like Community Health Network come partner with us and come over and do like blood pressure checks for people, and just things like that to help. And one of the things we've started again is working with the Houston Food Bank to bring their community assistance program down several times a month. And they help with benefits such as SNAP or TANF for Medicaid, Medicare, just to help with that. And then I think going forward, we're looking, at some alternative ways to feed people, but I think that's most of it right now. It's a lot. So
Let's get to you right now. What's one of your favorite places to visit down here or eat at, or what businesses do you admire, or where do you like to go?
well, I would say the local and Grape Taste know me very well. When I walk in, they know what I like. So
They're both great.
they are great. There's so many great businesses. I started thinking about this one, and I admire a lot. But when I kind of group them together, they're all entrepreneurial, and I never really thought of myself like that, and I just really admire people that have an idea and they run with it, and they're going to hit a lot of ups and downs, and they just keep going. There's so many restaurants. I look at all the businesses that support, our chemical industry. Those are just individuals that had an idea and went with it, and they have huge businesses now. So I just think the entrepreneurial spirit of so many people down here is very unusual.
They don't have quit in there.
They do not. They do not. And I know they've all gone through some really tough times, some really great times, and they just keep going.
I love that. Where do you see Brazosport Cares in, say, 5 to 10 years?
That's a hard one because the world we live in now, I think, has changed so much. I read something recently about planning, and it said, you really can't plan more than 6 months out, which is kind of true. I feel like every year we have plans, and then something happens, and we've had pivot and major pivots. But I think in 5 to 10 years, I would love to see Brazosport Cares double in size. I would love us to have more pantries, satellite pantries like we have in Sweeney. I think what's important is for us to have other ways to meet people where they are. Not everybody can come to my food pantry on Tuesday morning when I'm open. So how can we meet people where they are, like our school food pantries, going where they are? I've always wanted to do like a food truck full of fresh veggies that we target around where seniors live and we take it. Or maybe it's lockers that we put at a school or somewhere where kids can get food when it's on their schedule. So I really see Brazosport Cares continuing to grow and just being more innovative. And it may not be a brick and mortar pantry, but really putting more meals out in the community, but in new and innovative ways.
Okay, business people, you heard it. There's your challenge.
Yes,
It's
I have
coming.
some ideas. I have lots of ideas. I just always need resources.
Is there something that we've left out that you would like to talk about or mention, or have we pretty well covered most of the things?
I think we've covered a lot. I think just this community is amazing at how it steps up and supports us. And we're excited about our next chapter with this new building. It was definitely built for our neighbors. It wasn't built for my staff. It wasn't built for our volunteers, although we love it. If you haven't been to our old building, it's not air conditioned. And so we're very excited about that. But I think just we're really excited about the next chapter and what we are going to be able to do in this community and partner with businesses like you, partner with other nonprofits. And it really takes all of us. I often get the question of, well, there's other food pantries. I'm like, absolutely. And we're all working as hard as we can, yet there's still, 54,000 people in Brazoria County that don't have enough to eat. So it takes all of us, and it takes businesses, and it takes, religious and civic and everybody to really come together. And so I would just encourage everyone. There's a lot of places you can plug in. So please plug in.
You were the perfect plug-in for this business at Brazosport Care. We're all proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
And we're rooting for you, and we're supporting you. And it's just been great, the things you do and for others, and you don't take any credit for yourself. So that's why I'm saying it right now.
Thanks.
In closing, of course, I'm going to ask the questions. Are there any funny or embarrassing moments that have happened over the years that you could talk about?
I can talk about.
Yeah.
There's definitely some embarrassing things I would never admit.
Right.
But I did think, I was thinking when I first started my career, I worked in public accounting And that was like 80, 90-hour weeks. We're exhausted. You'd get up, go to work, come home, just fall asleep.
Sleep and then go again.
And go again and get up in the morning. And
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, very much. One day I wore 2 different shoes to work. And the funniest part is I didn't even notice till the afternoon, and no one around me even noticed. And so,
But the next day, everybody had 2 different shoes on.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was like, wow, you might need
Because you're a fashion temple. They probably thought that was in.
They might have. I'm like, I think I might need a vacation if I'm not even noticing I'm wearing different colors, different styles. I don't even know how that happened.
Christy, I can't thank you enough, really.
Thank
This
you.
has been fantastic. And thanks for sharing your time and your thoughts with us here today on our program. You'd visit with us again maybe one day?
Absolutely.
Especially if something new's around the corner, like that food truck or something like
Yes,
that. We'd
would
love to be here. We look forward to it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us and letting me share a little bit about what Brazosport Cares does.
Well, for Brazosport Cares, First National Bank of Lake Jackson, Lee Cowan, our producer with Marketing and Creative LLC, I'm Dave Mayberry, saying thanks for joining us, and we look forward to our next podcast. You can bank on it. This podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only and does not constitute legal or financial advice. Please consult with a professional for specific advice tailored to your situation. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and any guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of First National Bank of Lake Jackson. This episode discusses topics that are subject to change. Always review your current sources.